I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
This is the Virtual Real Estate Investor Podcast with Vincent Polisi. Buckle your seatbelt and prepare to learn how to legally make six figures investing in real estate with no money, no credit check, and nothing but a computer and internet connection. Learn how you too can begin generating buyers and sellers for free today. And why you're only 2 calls away from making a $10,000 or more payday while never leaving the comfort of your home. And now, your host, the virtual real estate investor, Vincent Polisi.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Vincent. Hope you guys are doing well. In this quick video, I wanted to go through and review for you the joint venture partner programs, because I keep getting inquiries for these. I have not promoted this, and honestly, I cannot remember how long. Somehow people just seem to find it, but I want to go ahead and go through it because a lot of people, unfortunately, don't know that it exists, and they're not aware of what all of the benefits are, as opposed to the traditional BS guru coaching programs and courses and all the other nonsense that you see out there in Facebook fairyland. So let's go through this. I want you to understand what the differences are. So this is an actual bona fide joint venture partnership program. In other words, unlike an info marketing course where you get a course or you have a mentorship or you get coaching or something like that, we actually actively plug you into my live operating real estate investment business. And to clarify a couple of points, number one, people always have a tendency to want to try to pigeonhole me and others into, oh, well, you're the lease option guy, or, oh, you're the owner finance guy, or, oh, you're the wholesaling guy, or whatever. Let me be clear. I've been involved in real estate for more than 30 years. I am a full spectrum real estate investor. And that runs the gamut of everything from single family residential to multifamily to commercial to new construction, you name it, we've done it. Okay. So if, regardless of what your situation is or your personal flavor of real estate, this is the program for you, because I've got the experience from over 30 years of working in literally every facet of real estate investing that you can possibly imagine. So this is the website right here. If you join the email list, as you can see right here, you get the free ebook on how I personally generated over $40 million in inventory in 8 weeks without any cash or credit. This is back in 2008. Okay. And it took me less than 8 weeks to do that. And I was able to do it with no money and no credit, because quite frankly, I was coming off of, at that point in time, very ugly and public $4.5 million bankruptcy. Okay. So I didn't have any money or credit. Cell phone had been turned off, the whole 9 yards. I had to do all of this stuff from my mother-in-law's phone, if you can believe it. That's how horrific things were at that point after losing everything. So you don't need cash or credit to make money in real estate investing. You don't need money for marketing, because I don't spend any money on marketing and haven't since we started the program. All right. And I want you to understand that a lot of the misconceptions that you may have are based on, not on fact. Okay. They're not based on fact. It's not necessary to spend money on marketing. Craigslist is free. It's always been our number one driver of leads for both buyers and sellers. And if you sign up for the email list right here, you're going to get the exact method that we use to do that via Craigslist. Now, the beautiful part about it is you're going to get what's called the 10-minute task. And it literally only takes 10 minutes a day. Okay. I mean, and you can't do it for longer than that, because, not Facebook, but Craigslist will cut you off. Okay. So if you don't have cash or credit, not a problem. One of the big things I harp on, the thing that drives me absolutely insane with literally, almost every single other course I've seen, there are a few exceptions, but 99.9% of the courses that are out there teach a unbelievable volume of illegality and incompetence. Okay. And so you're not going to get any of that here. All right. And if you don't believe that, then what I want you to do is go to the podcast. Right. And if you go to the podcast here, and here, let me pull this up. You go to the podcast and you go to see all episodes, and you scroll down all the way down here. We did 2 podcasts back to back back in, I believe it was either late 2014 or early 2015, whenever I first came out. Or actually, there it is, 2015, late 2015. And in this one, we covered how to lose everything with lease options. And we had an attorney on and went through all of the illegalities in the standard lease option contract. In this one, these were what we call the hot seat webinars. I let the attorney cross-examine me and go line by line through our contracts and process as it relates to owner finance deals. So you can get to hear it live, okay? An actual real estate attorney cross-examining me over the legality and in the contract and the process that we were using, okay? So I want you to understand right out of the gate that this is not your typical thing. It has been vetted, in other words, okay? Now, next up, what else are you going to get if you join the Joint Venture Partner Program? Well, we have an entire training course, obviously, because you need to learn what you're doing. You need to learn. I provide a lot of free education out there through the website, the podcast, and the Facebook group. But we also have an actual organized course so you can learn how to literally, not figuratively, but literally do a deal start to finish same day and get paid, okay? I have done that many times. You're going to learn exactly how to do that so you don't have to wait. You're not going to be waiting on some future, if we're talking about our standard owner finance deal, you're not going to be waiting on some future closing that you're not party to like they do with wholesaling. You have an ability to get paid same day, okay? And this is really, if you want to take a look at it from this perspective, it's really more of a OJT. For those of you who don't know what that means, it stands for on-the-job training. In other words, you're going to learn and earn. Let me back up. You're going to earn while you learn, all right? Because we're going to be actively working deals literally from day one. And you also get to become part of a cohesive team that works together, because we work together in the spirit of collaboration, not competition, unlike all of these other programs that are out there where you're out there trying to compete with somebody in a local micro market. The beauty of what we do is we can do it in all 50 states. Okay, we're not limited to whatever city you happen to be in. I've been doing that for decades, okay, in various industries. So you can read up a little bit here about me. Okay, we talk about invest in real estate from anywhere in the world. You don't have to be in the United States. I've had joint venture partners literally in about, 9, 10 other countries over the years. All right, so it doesn't matter what your location is. You can make money on real estate in the U.S. from wherever you're at. All you need is access to the internet. Okay, you can work from home or your phone. It's set up that way on purpose. It's 100% virtual. I don't go see houses. I don't go to closings. I don't have to clear titles. I don't have to, deal with all of the standard nonsense, driving around, driving for dollars, knocking on doors, all that kind of stuff. You work from your house, okay? So let that sink in. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to spend any money, okay? You have the ability to generate exponential returns because on a standard owner finance deal, if that's the route that you're going, there's up to 4 different revenue streams that are created. Number one, you have upfront down payment. Okay, and that would be no less than $30,000 up front based on the way the model works. Plus, you would have the ability for monthly cash flow. You would also have the ability, if the contract is structured properly, for underlying principal balance reduction on the underlying note, and as well as your back end spread. In other words, if you buy the property on contract now, this is with no cash out of your pocket for $500,000, and you sell it for $550,000, well, you've got a $50,000 spread built in on the back, in addition to the other potential 3 revenue streams. So you have an ability to make cash very, very quickly and lots of it, okay? Because we're dealing with people that want to own homes, not be renters. The beauty of this is you're not just getting a course, you're actually going to plug into a live operational business, okay? Mine. You get access to all of everything I actually use. Nothing hidden, no secrets, no nonsense. You're plugging into my Podio setup. You get access to my virtual assistant. You're plugging into our private Slack channel. You plug into everything that we have. Everything's all set up in Podio, so you can do generate a contract by pushing one button, literally. You can send it for signature via right signature by pushing one button in our Podio setup. It's set up like that for speed, because when you're doing deals, okay, if you guys have never heard this before, time kills the deal. So you got to be able to move quickly. And I've got Podio set up so that you don't have to waste too much time amending contracts and all that stuff. Bam, you put in just the basic details. It'll generate the contract for you. You click another button and it's going to automatically send it to the buyer, the seller, whoever it is that you're sending the contract to. Okay. It's designed for us to work together. All right. So that we're actively working. And what that means is I will actually get on the phone with you and a buyer and a seller. Okay. And the purpose of that is I've got over, let's see, what is it at this point? Roughly 25 years of professional sales experience. I was professionally trained when I was, 27. I'm 51 now. And so you're going to get a professional closer on the phone with you that has literally been involved in thousands of transactions all over the United States, okay, over the course of, like I said, spanning 30 years. Again, going back to the fact here, you can work from anywhere. It doesn't make a difference. And we have unbelievable support because it's coming from not only from me, from our virtual assistants and our support team, but you're not left hanging, okay? So it's very frustrating, especially when you're new, and you feel close to making money, to be left hanging because you don't know what the next thing to do is, okay? And you're not going to be left hanging. And the reason that you're not going to be left hanging is because it's an actual joint venture partnership. If you make money, that means I make money. And that's the way it's set up on purpose. So I have a vested interest to help you make money as opposed to just trying to peddle some stupid course and say, okay, go get them, Tiger, right? We actively work with the buyer and the seller together. Okay. Now understand something. For this particular program, there's only three things that you need to do. Let me rephrase that. There's only three things you need to do a deal and get paid today. You need a buyer, a seller, and a contract. I go buyer first. Okay. And what that means is I don't go inventory first. I started doing that in 2008 and realized what a logistical nightmare going inventory first was. And I switched the model. I turned it completely, did a total 180. And I go buyer first. And the reason I do that is because when I go inventory first, I can contract on 100 houses and sell none of them. But if I go buyer first, I can contract on one house and get paid. It's a much smarter, faster, easier way to do deals and do business. Unfortunately, nobody else teaches this. And so as a result, what happens with most people, and the reason that most people that get involved in real estate, the estimates are between 98 and 99% of the people that get involved in real estate are out within the first 6 months because it's hard. They're not getting the correct information they need. And they're working these backwards, half-baked systems that a lot of these guys are trying to sell to you. Okay. In this particular situation, we're generating a buyer first, contracting with that buyer, verifying, vetting that the buyer has cash, and then we go find them a house. Okay. Very, very simple. Like I said, you can turn it in same day. You don't have to worry about building out websites and all this stuff because you're plugging into my business. We've already got it all set up. Everything is all there. So for properties, we have an inventory. For our home finder program, for whatever you need, it's already built out. You don't have to deal with any of that stuff. So you don't have to be a tech wizard to be doing deals in. And if you end up generating standing inventory, then we've got a home for it that it can then be marketed immediately. All right. You also get access to my back-end Podio system. Okay. This is our actual live system that we use. And if you look all across the top here, you can see all the different apps that we've got that we're using, that we have set up so that it's easy for you to plug in automatically. You don't have to become a Podio expert. You don't have to become a Global Flow workflow expert or a Zapier expert to be able to plug into the business. You're also going to get plugged into my voice over IP PBX server. And the reason that's important is because we do deals all over the United States. And what I do for every deal that we do, if I don't already have an area code, I'll go buy a number for that area code for that market and set it up on the server. And what that does is it gives you the ability to be able to call and take calls from a local area code number. Why is that important? The reason that's important is because your answered call conversion rate will go up exponentially if you're calling from a local area code. So as an example, if I call somebody I'm in Orlando, if I call from Orlando and I'm calling out to California, there's, a high likelihood because it's an out of area code that they're not going to answer the phone. They're going to dump me into voicemail. Okay. When I do deals in California, I use California area codes and I can dial directly from my computer, my iPhone, my Android, my iPad, my MacBook, etc., for that area code in California. So it looks like it's coming from a local number. All right. And it's just a weird quirk that people have. They don't like to answer out of area code numbers, but they will answer an in area code number, and you get the benefit of having all of that set up for you so that you don't have to. All right. Now, this is our private Slack channel, and this is where we do all of our backside communication and where you can get help. This is where we actually talk about individual specifics on deals. We don't do that in the Facebook group or anything like that, so that there's no worry about somebody, stealing your deal. Everybody that's in the Slack channel is actually a paid joint venture partner. Okay. And this is where we have DM set up so that we can actually discuss private details, the seller's name, their contact information, et cetera, without having to worry about whether or not somebody is going to try to steal the deal out from underneath you. All right. And it provides the ability for real-time support because I'm on Slack all day, every day for both businesses. Now, we've got two different platforms here, and it really depends on what your skill level is and what your goal is. If you're new and just starting out, unless you're highly, highly liquid and highly motivated, you want to start off with the group JVP. It's only $500 down and then $197 a month. And I want to explain this to you so it makes sense. The purpose here is to motivate you so that you never have to pay the $197 a month because we're actively doing deals and I'm sending you wires. Okay. So you're not ever worried about the $197 a month. It's there as sort of that end of month guillotine to make sure that you're doing your marketing. Okay. You're pre-qualifying your buyers and we're setting up phone calls to get them closed out. So that way, when you get a check for $25,000, you're not worried about $197. Okay. That's the way it's designed to be set up. It covers on here everything that you actually get. And then we also have the one-on-one joint venture partner program where you work one-on-one directly with me. And this is really designed for people that are looking to scale to over $500,000 a year and create, their own virtual empire where eventually, basically what they do is they clone my system and get to scale and then, basically leave the nest and go off on their own. And then we're not splitting revenue. Okay. That's who that's designed for. So you can move from one. People ask this all the time. Well, can I start with one and then move up to the other one? And yes, we've had many people do that where they started off in the group JVP and then they moved on to the one-on-one because they wanted more personalized, custom attention to their actual business plan and the direction that they wanted to go in. So right now, market is absolutely on fire. We got some testimonials down here. You guys can read those too. Market is absolutely on fire right now. There is unbelievable contraction in available inventory, and there is a bubble that is about to pop, and you need to be prepared for all of those things when it happens so that you can continue surviving and thriving in what most will consider to be a very bad real estate market coming up, okay? That's the benefit of this. This was created out of the decimation of 2008. And guess what? It was the retail side was horrible, but the owner finance side was absolutely fantastic, on fire. So there it is in a nutshell. If you have questions, you can DM me on Facebook. You can... if you want to set up a phone call to discuss it further, I'll be happy to do that as well. Just DM me and we'll set up a time and I can walk you through the process and answer any questions that you've got. But right now, I'm telling you guys, the market's on fire, it's very bizarre for this time of year, especially heading into the holidays. Normally it would never be this way, but what you have is you've got a massive amount of people that are making an exodus out of the Northeast to get away from all the COVID-19 nonsense. And they're moving to Florida, Texas, Arizona, etc. A lot of the southeastern states to get away from all that's going on up in New York and New Jersey, etc. Okay. So the time, if you're looking to get into this, if you want to get out of a slave job, now is the time. You've got to take action. Okay. You want to be ahead of the curve. You don't want to be in a scenario where you have to worry about whether or not you're going to walk in one day and get the pink slip, get fired, okay, or laid off or furloughed or whatever the politically correct term of it is. You don't want to be in that situation. The only way you're not going to be in that situation is by creating multiple streams of income and preferably multiple streams of internet income. And this is step one if real estate is your passion, okay? So even if you're not, if you're already a seasoned investor and you've been working, your own local micro market and you're beating your head against the wall because probably most of you guys are doing the traditional wholesale thing or rehabbing or whatever. This is a much better way to do it because you don't have any financial risk at all. There's no cash, there's no credit, and guess what? It's a printing press of money. All right. So there it is. Like I said, if you have any questions, by all means, DM me, PM me, and let's get you moving forward. Okay. Let's get your onboarding call set up so that you can start actively working real deals today.
Thank you for listening to the Virtual Real Estate Investor Podcast with Vincent Polisi. If you found any value in this podcast, please use our Give to Get method and take a moment to give us a 5-star rating in iTunes and your favorite podcast service so we can keep giving you excellent episodes of real content you can use to profit today.